What if Kobe and LeBron swapped their entire careers? Kobe, already with 5 championships in hand, would bid farewell to the glamour of Los Angeles and the shelter of the Lakers' storied empire, plunging headfirst into 2003 Cleveland, a city that had never once touched a championship. And LeBron, already carrying 4 rings, would have to leave behind the destined narrative of the chosen one, landing 7 years early in the City of Angels in 1996, pairing up with the Big Shaq at the absolute peak of his powers, forming the most physically overwhelming inside-out duo the league had ever seen. The wheel of fate gets violently twisted on draft night. LeBron James, 1996. The Lakers, when the most complete young king in the history of the game meets the most dominant beast in the league, when the gift for controlling the big picture gets absorbed into Phil Jackson's triangle offense, when all the resources and gravitational pull of the Lakers dynasty are completely within his grasp. Can he stack an even more terrifying, even more lasting championship empire on top of the blueprint left by the Shaq and Kobe dynasty? Would 3 straight titles be nothing more than the starting point of the dynasty? Not just 6 rings, but more. Not just 7 rings, but more. Would the purple and gold battleship's voyage be pushed toward heights never before seen in history? Kobe Bryant, 2003, the Cavaliers, no Shaq, no Gasol fighting side by side, no Phil Jackson's wisdom to light the way, no star-studded purple and gold teammates. All there is the cold steel dome of Quicken Loans Arena, and Ricky Davis' absurd declaration, "I thought he was here to support me." And the savage, relentless meat grinder of the Eastern Conference, year after year after year. Can that obsessive maniac, the one who burned 4 a.m. Los Angeles into his very bones, use his razor-sharp, deadly Mamba fangs to tear open a blood-soaked path to the summit in the championship wasteland of Cleveland? If Kobe could truly create a miracle, would once be enough, or twice, or maybe 3 times? When the Emperor's scepter is planted at the highest starting point in Lakers dynasty history, when the Mamba's deadly venom is injected into the ringless ruins of Cleveland. In this ultimate soul swap that turns the entire basketball universe upside down, whose fingertips can ultimately carry the weight of more championship rings, the answer may completely rewrite everything we thought we knew about talent, environment, and the making of dynasties. We go back to 1996. Rookie LeBron James steps in as the direct replacement for rookie Kobe, and from the very first moment of his career, he already has Shaquille O'Neal, Eddie Jones, and Nick Van Exel as star teammates by his side. And as a small forward, LeBron's position fits that Lakers roster like a match made in heaven. Their lineup configuration was clearly stronger than the vast majority of teams at the time, most of whom had at most 1 or 2 stars. The only handful of teams that could be considered on the same level were the Bulls, Heat, and Knicks in the East, and the Jazz, Rockets, and Sonics in the West. But looking at the regular season standings, the Lakers were actually the strongest team in the Western Conference. And even across the entire league, only the Bulls, led by MVP Jordan, could clearly suppress them. The Lakers were also right behind the Bulls, one of just 2 teams in the league to have 2 players earn all NBA honors. Although many teams were bothered to varying degrees by injuries, the aging Rockets being one example, the Lakers in the regular season basically maintained a fully healthy roster. But injuries are a part of the game, and in the first round of the playoffs, Eldon Jones was also hit by injury and had to briefly sit out. Yet even so, with their explosive athletic gifts, the Lakers still completely blew out the Warriors in the first round of the playoffs. Even the wild man Sprewell had no choice but to dial it back. In the second round, they ran into the Portland Trail Blazers with their towering, physically imposing front court. But Rasheed Wallace at that point was still only a second-year player, so it was clearly very difficult for them to contain the unstoppable force of the Big Shaq. The Lakers didn't go through too much trouble. In just 6 games, the Lakers marched their way into the Western Conference Finals. On paper alone, the Lakers and Jazz were evenly matched in terms of strength. But in reality, every single time they played Utah, the Lakers' ultimate weapon O'Neal would always be significantly contained, because the Jazz's massive Wall Ostertag was essentially the strongest Shaq stopper in the entire league. Already the best individual defender against O'Neal in the NBA. And on top of that, Malone's occasional double-team harassment caused O'Neal's output and efficiency to take a serious hit. Even more importantly, Stockton's mid-range jumper off the pick and roll always gave O'Neal tremendous headaches. It seemed as though the Jazz's entire roster and style of play was custom-built specifically to neutralize the Lakers. So even though Game 1 was held on the Lakers' home floor, the Lakers still couldn't gain the early advantage. And with just over a minute remaining, the Lakers were actually trailing by 8 points.
O'Neal drives hard into the paint.
Second chance opportunity. And the moment he goes up, the defender fouls him. He's heading to the free throw line, 2 shots. He hits the first one. The gap has already been cut to 7.
Both free throws go in. Absolutely perfect from the line. The deficit narrows a little more.
The Lakers need to be careful of the Utah pick and roll. They've been burned by it so many times in this game alone.
Van Exel with the ball now.
Right now, the Jazz are just keep sending O'Neal to the free throw line while running the clock. They still have fouls to give anyway.
First one is good. Both free throws connect.
Alone in the paint. Pulls up over Campbell. Campbell grabs the rebound.
LeBron can't just keep dribbling. There isn't much time left.
Only 6 seconds on the shot clock. Just rebound.
They led by as many as 13 points in this game.
LeBron James, though just a rookie, possesses remarkable courage. When Shaq is constrained by the hack a Shaq strategy, he dares to step up and take over the offense. But the crucial shot doesn't fall. And just like that, the Lakers are thrown into complete passivity, left with no choice but to keep fouling again and again. In the end, with 20 seconds remaining, as Van Exel's three-pointer rattles out of the rim, the Lakers can only helplessly swallow the bitter pill of an opening game loss in the Western Conference Finals. But this game actually had quite a few bright spots for the Lakers, beyond the Big Shaq, Van Exel, and Eddie Jones. Rookie LeBron James still delivered a well-rounded performance on such a massive stage, and given time, the Lakers clearly have the potential to become the future rulers of this league. But just as the fans were eagerly hoping the Lakers could come roaring back in Game 2, what they got instead was an even more unrestrained Utah Jazz, and neither Shaq nor LeBron, for all their hardened physical gifts, could find any room to operate whatsoever. The only reason the Lakers were able to keep it close at the very start of the game was that Campbell and Van Exel played with energy and aggression. But role players are not superstars after all, and it's very hard for them to sustain a consistently high level of output. On top of that, the Stockton and Malone pick-and-roll mid-range was simply impossible to guard. And in the end, the game completely slipped out of the Lakers' control. They lost by as many as 23 points, falling into the difficult position of being down 0-2. If LeBron underperforming as a rookie is still something you can understand, Shaq's flat and disappointing performance demands accountability, reflection, and a fast turnaround. And it's not just about bouncing back on offense. More importantly, it's about the defensive end and how to stop the Jazz from continuing to exploit the pick and roll against them. Because understand this, the Jazz's pick and roll isn't just about on-ball screens. Their off-ball screens are even more dangerous, constantly allowing them to find exactly the matchup they want, which in turn allows them to firmly control the pace of the entire game at all times. By comparison, once the Big Shaq is clearly contained, the Lakers' offensive options become extremely limited. But if they cannot fight back and win Game 3, the Lakers' situation is going to become extremely dangerous.
6 seconds on the timer. And Malone steps to the line. First one is good. 2 for 2.
Van Exel with the ball.
He lofts it high toward the basket. Oh, way too obvious. It is a turnover.
Out to the right wing. Screen set.
Pass to Ostertag. Good defense blocked, out of bounds. Utah retains possession. Hornacek fires, up by 12. Hornacek is a little unlucky on that one. It doesn't go in. Van Exel with the ball now. O'Neal being guarded by Ostertag. Pure power and force. O'Neal bulldozes his way into the paint. O'Neal finishes it solidly. This is Hornacek.
Ball finds Malone.
He goes up again. Oh, Shaq snatches the basketball right out of the air.
Out on the wing, Jones.
LeBron on the perimeter. Campbell.
Then Exel pulls up over Hornacek, only 6 seconds left on the timer. A beautiful bucket completed by Shaq. Stockton on the outside. Ball finds him alone. Pulls up over Campbell.
Campbell holds his ground. Great defense, protecting his basket.
When he is fully committed to attacking the rim like that, stopping him is really not an easy thing to do.
Van Exel with the ball now.
O'Neal pulls up over Ostertag. Can't finish this time. Both teams' interior defense is just too hard to crack right now.
Stockton on the perimeter. And that is a very nice layup. His speed is extremely fast.
Look at the Utah duo. They're like a combination of punches. When Malone's touch goes cold, Stockton steps up and keeps the fire going. But for the Lakers, it is just Shaq alone grinding it out in traffic by himself.
Utah calls timeout.
Stockton facing Van Exel's defense. Ball finds Hornacek. out to the wing. Malone catches it, and it rattles in off the back of the rim.
At the most critical moment, Karl Malone finds his touch just in time. He and Stockton each knock one down, and they've almost locked up the victory. The time they're leaving for the Lakers is running very short.
This is Jones. LeBron being guarded by Russell.
Ball goes back to Jones. Finds Van Exel.
O'Neal being guarded by Ostertag. 3-second violation.
The perimeter players neither shot the ball nor quickly passed it inside to the paint, and this caused the desperately win-hungry Shaq to commit the rare and costly mistake of a 3-second violation, and it caused the Lakers to completely lose any possibility of a comeback. They now find themselves in the desperate 0-3 hole. The number 1 seed in the entire Western Conference. Reduced to this situation, it's truly difficult to watch. Anyone with eyes can see it clearly. They no longer have any possibility of making it to the finals. So from here, the remaining games will be fought for dignity alone. They need to try their best to at least lose with some decency. But the Jazz clearly had no intention of letting this drag on. Using physical, hard-nosed play and relentless team defense, they came out in Game 4 firmly guarding the perimeter while continuously attacking the paint. And neither O'Neal nor LeBron's forced drives had a particularly good success rate. Almost every single possession required an enormous amount of effort just to get the ball through the basket. Their inability to create mid-range offense was a flaw that got amplified to an infinite degree across these 4 games, and their lack of desire to guard the mid-range on defense was even more fatally damaging, to the point where Utah's backup guards were able to repeatedly exploit the Lakers' inability to defend the pick and roll in the paint. And in the end, after LeBron's desperate drive to the basket gets swatted away, the Lakers' 1,996-97 season journey comes to its unwilling yet unavoidable end. Of course, at this point, neither O'Neal nor rookie LeBron James are anywhere close to the peak of their abilities. And besides, the fact that LeBron at such a young age was already able to fight his way into the Western Conference Finals is itself no small achievement. Going forward, they can absolutely hold their heads high. Take stock of everything, draw as much experience as possible from watching the Bulls and Jazz play, and also take a close look at exactly where the gap between themselves and the very best teams actually lies. The Jazz were truly very powerful. Even playing on the road, even facing the defending champions, they still dominated the Bulls throughout Game 1. And with just over a minute remaining, they were still firmly holding on to a 6-point lead.
In the paint, stolen by Rodman. Kerr picks it up. Ball finds Jordan's hands.
And with just one hand, he violently throws it through the basket. Maybe that ball right there is the best score of the entire night.
That play is going to change the direction of this game at such a moment. In a game with the score, this tight to produce a performance like this is truly unbelievable.
Pippen with the ball now. And when he is heading to the free throw line to produce a performance like this is truly unbelievable. Pippen hits the and 1 as well. The gap between the two teams is now down to just 1 point. Every single possession from here on is going to be absolutely crucial.
Ostertag at the top of the arc, Stockton. On the right side.
Ball finds a Malone. Pulls up over Rodman.
Utah misses again. Jordan with the ball. Beautiful. Jerry Sloan calls a timeout.
Looking at the time remaining, I would guess they will most likely try to push the pace and get a quick score. That is right. Right now they have the opportunity to go quickly. And this next possession is going to be very interesting.
There are only 8 seconds between the end of the shot clock and the end of the game.
Malone can't convert on this crucial possession. Great defense.
The Jazz, who had led for almost the entire game, find their situation falling into passivity after missing the most important possession of the game. The Bulls' experienced, battle-hardened defense leaves alone with none of the composure he had back in the Western Conference Finals. They have no choice but to hurriedly resort to fouling. But then, on the very next possession, Malone comes up empty once again, and the Jazz's situation deteriorates rapidly. And the Bulls, with a breathtaking come-from-behind performance, proved once and for all that defense winning championships is an absolutely unbreakable truth. And it is precisely armed with that same truth that the Jazz, down 2-3 in the series, were still fighting the Bulls neck and neck with just over 5 minutes remaining in Game 6.
Williams now being guarded by Ostertag. Jordan catches it. Pulls up over Kyle.
Foul line jumper, scores, beautiful ball movement. He delivered it right to the best possible position.
It is good. Kerr with the ball now. Left side, Pippen. Pass to Kerr, 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Blocked. The Jazz pull out one of their signature plays.
And the ball drops through the net. Ball to Pippen. Jordan's being guarded by Russell. Fadeaway. Jordan scores. This is the power of the mid-range. You don't need to grind it out at the rim. And it is even more reliable than the three-pointer. The Jazz are going to have to watch out for Jordan's counterattack.
Stockton puts up a shot.
Jordan comes down with this rebound.
They played some very tight defense there, really locking him down, causing his shot to miss.
Right in his face, disrupting the shot, but the technique was clean without too much physical contact.
Jordan with the ball now. Oh, Ostertag snatches the rebound. Utah gets possession. Still up 5. Hornacek on the perimeter. Right wing. Stockton drives hard, and the shot gets disrupted.
Pippen pushes in transition.
Pippen successfully grabs the rebound and finishes directly with the putback. That score was something they earned themselves. A beautiful putback basket.
Hornacek on the outside. Passes to Russell.
Rebound grabbed by the Bulls. He generally doesn't miss this kind of shot, especially when the defender hasn't gotten into the best position.
And this basket also draws a defensive foul. He is heading to the free throw line. This is an and-one opportunity. This foul sends Michael Jordan to the free throw line. Jeff Hornacek is called for the foul. He hits it, and he has tied the score. Stockton with the ball now. Finds a Malone. And he misses. They had the chance right there to end Chicago's little run, but there isn't much time left in the game. This possession is extremely important. They must seize the opportunity to take the lead back. Screen is set. Hare, Longley, being guarded by Ostertag. 5 seconds left on the timer. He is in position to put it back. Rodman finishes it solidly. That should be Rodman's first score of the game. He should now be 1 for 2 from the field.
Malone called for a 3-second violation. In a game with a score this tight, this type of mistake gets magnified enormously.
At this most critical moment, Malone actually commits the exact same low-level mistake that O'Neal made back in the Western Conference Finals. So will he end up following in the footsteps of the Big Shaq? Let's wait and see.
Fires from the wing. A beautiful bank shot off the glass. Good.
The moment that ball left his hands, the defenders already had a bad feeling, because they all know he is extremely good at hitting big shots.
Stockton on the perimeter, drives it inside. Malone catches and knocks it down. He has cut the deficit to 2 points.
The two teammates are completely in sync with each other, completing this beautiful assist and effortless score.
Ball lofted toward the basket, disrupted. Longley can't finish. Russell on the outside. Back to Malone. Chicago grabs the rebound.
The very same mid-range jumper that the Jazz used to destroy the Lakers, in the end casts its magic spell once again, this time against the Bulls. They hurriedly resort to fouling, sending Pippen to the free throw line.
The first one doesn't he go in? A free throw this important, and it gets missed. Second one drops. They now lead by 3 points. Utah calls timeout.
26.1 seconds, a 3-point lead. Can the Jazz hold on under the pressure and create a miracle? Let's continue watching.
Stockton gets the ball and scores. A very beautiful shot. The gap is now only 1 point.
He knew exactly which direction his teammate was running, delivering the ball directly into his path.
They intentionally foul. At this point, it is the only thing they can do.
It is the right choice. There is no other option, just foul, and then hope the other team misses the free throws. Not even a single second can be wasted.
He hits the first one, and now they lead by 2. Both free throws go in. The gap remains at 3 points.
These are extremely important free throws, and now the other side has no choice but to go for 3.
There is a chance to tie the score. Stockton catches it.
Fires from beyond the arcade, doesn't go in. This is an intentional foul. They really want to get the ball back as quickly as possible. He misses the first free throw. This one was so crucial, they really needed it to go in. But he still has one more chance.
He had the opportunity right there to put this game to bed. It is a clean three. This three-pointer is truly extraordinary.
Phil Jackson immediately decides to call a timeout.
The NBA truly is the place where miracles happen. After Stockton's audacious three-pointer goes through the net, the pressure now falls completely on the Bulls' side. Can they deliver the killing blow to the Jazz? Let's wait and see.
Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Michael Jordan.
Jordan strolls up and calmly knocks it down, as if he's taking a leisurely walk, and the entire Bulls roster immediately returns to their half of the floor with absolute confidence, celebrating wildly. Because they firmly believe they are unbeatable, and they firmly believe the championship belongs to none other than themselves. And the greatest source of that confidence comes from none other than Finals MVP Jordan, who just went off for 38 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists. We don't know whether, after watching such a breathtaking 6-game series, LeBron James has been able to gain some understanding of what it truly takes to win. We don't know whether at this same time next year, they will have earned the right to be the strongest opponent standing between this Bulls team and their second three-peat. Brothers, for what happens next, stay tuned for the next installment.